very important because we need their voice.
Question number 5, Dr. Russel Norman.
E te mangai o te whare tēnā koe, to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by his statement in relation to the share giveaway as part of his asset sales programs that, quote, if the member wants to go to the budget, he will see quite clearly laid out in the government's program the anticipated return the Crown will get and the costs likely to be associated?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the words before the quote are the members, but I stand by my statement which I made on 20th of June. The budget does set out the returns and costs from the mixed ownership program. Ministers have since made a decision in principle to offer a loyalty bonus. We're taking advice on how to treat this in the government's books, for example, whether we need to make a separate appropriation for it.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. So is the Prime Minister confirming that in his answer to that question, when he referred to the costs likely to be associated with the asset sale program, he was not accounting for the cost of the share giveaway?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, firstly I would reject the term giveaway. In terms of the loyalty bonus, Treasury are working out exactly where that might be accounted. I mean, overall what they've said is the total costs, the best estimates are about 2% of proceeds, but that includes a lot of other factors. But they'll come back to us with advice of how it should be appropriated.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Supplementary. Thank you, Mr Speaker. So given that the government has previously said the cost of the asset sale program would be about 2% of proceeds, or about $120 million, is he now saying that the cost of the share giveaway or bonus scheme will be a further 2% or $120 million on top of that?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, no, I'm not.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Supplementary. Does the Prime Minister understand that under our constitutional system, governments have to ask the permission of Parliament to spend money, and that Parliament has the right to expect that the full costs of the asset sale program, including the share giveaway, would have to be included in the budget or another appropriation or a piece of legislation before this House?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The member's making some assumptions which may be incorrect.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Supplementary. Which assumptions are incorrect?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The way that the loyalty scheme will be paid for at the moment, we're taking advice on that, but there's a number of ways it may be paid for.
Dr. Russel Norman.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Given that in his earlier answers to David Shearer, he said that the way he planned to pay for the loyalty scheme was to hold some shares back from the asset sale program and then use them for the loyalty scheme, then why wouldn't he need parliamentary approval to give away those further shares, given that giving away shares is the same as spending money and the government needs parliamentary approval to spend money?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the member's making some assumptions that may not be correct, like so many things he said about the mixed ownership model, but I can assure the member the government will follow the law. We always do on this side of the House.
Dr. Russel.
Supplementary.
Order.
Yeah, tell that to Banksy.
Order. Order. Goodness me. Dr. Russel Norman.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. In light of his comment on the weekend that we don't favour one group over another, why is his government planning to make the 95% of New Zealanders who won't buy shares in these companies subsidise the 5% who might?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, again, that's where the member's just talking rubbish and has been the whole way through. For a start off, there are 1.8 million KiwiSaver accounts around New Zealand. My guess is a great many of those will probably participate. Secondly, the New Zealand Super Fund is likely to be a buyer along with ACC, may well buy in these shares. But most importantly, the proceeds from the mixed ownership model will be used to buy other assets for the benefit of New Zealand. And when we go and build $1 billion worth of 21st century schools, that member will want to be associated with that, I'm for sure.
Question number 6, Grant Robertson.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister.